Hello, thank you for joining me today for Make It Thursday. This is Karen from tillycrafts.co.uk, and today I'm going to do something a little bit different. This is the Someone Special photopolymer stamp set, and it's got all these cute little animals in it: the mouse, squirrel and badger. I want to say badger, it looks like a badger. So I'm going to bring you a card today. Here's one that I made earlier, and I'm just using all the little stamps. So I did make some quite a while ago, which I think I shared on my blog, using these little animals, and I did a set of note cards with them. But today I'm going to use all these little stamps and the balloon and a couple of sentiments, and we're going to make this card. And the colours we're going to use in this card are Calypso Coral, Mango Melody, Bermuda Bay, Magenta Madness and Highland Heather. And I'm going to stamp in Memento, and I'm using the tailored punch for the sentiment. And I've got a blender pen, and this is the light soft sea foam, just to do a bit of grass on the bottom. So let me open these up. I've already mounted my flowers and butterflies on blocks, so I just need to open these up. That's my Calypso Coral, Mango Melody, Bermuda Bay, the wonderful Magenta Madness, and Highland Heather. Right, these are just out of shot, but I haven't got any room. Let's pop the stamp set out of the way. So what we need for this is a base card, and this is a sheet of A4 cut in half and scored in half, and I'm just going to burnish it with my bone folder. And this measures 4 1/8 by 5 7/8. Let me just measure it. My inches are on the back of this sheet. Yeah, 5 7/8. And we need layers. So I've got Magenta Madness, and this is 5 5/8 by 3 7/8, and the layer that we're going to stamp on is 5 3/8 by 5 5/8. So we've got two of those. We've got one for the inside, and we've got a layer for the outside. And then I've got a piece of Magenta Madness for the sentiment, and is this my spare white layer? My spare white layer to stamp the sentiment on for, to go on the punch. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to layer these up for the inside. And then that bit's done. I'm using my tumble on this, and then I've got a little bit of wiggle room. I usually need a little bit to get it straight. Whoops. I like to layer up the cards inside on most of mine. I just think it gives that a little extra touch. So that's just going to go in there like that. And that's the inside of our card. You can stamp on the inside and put a sentiment on if you want, or you can leave it blank for loads of room to write in. Right, I'm just going to layer this one up as well, and then that's done. My glue's nearly run out, so I'm just tapping it to make sure I have got it all, because I keep thinking it's empty, and then you tap it and there's a bit more in the bottom. So that's good. Right. So let's pop that one on there. So that's our card all ready for the stamping layer. There we go. Let's pop that up there. And what we'll do is we'll just stamp the sentiment. I've done it in Magenta Madness, so I think we'll go totally different and we'll have it in Bermuda Bay. So I've used on this one for a very special someone and the happy birthday. So I'm going to stamp the happy birthday first. Love the font on that as well, it's so nice. And then just get that underneath. That might be a bit wide, but we'll check when we punch it out. Oh, that'll go on nicely, so I just need to centre it up. And then squish it out. So that's the sentiment done. And then this card is to layer it up on. That's lovely. And all I'm going to do with this is, because you haven't got like another punch to layer it on top of, I'm just going to get my scissors and cut it straight across. And then what we do, let's get a bit of glue. I think this might, oh no, oh, see, there's a bit more in there. Bit on there. A little bit around that side. And then I'm just going to layer it up, line the edges up, do the same with this side. Perfect. Let's get it there. And then what we'll do on after is we'll just pop that on dimensionals and stick it up. So that's that bit done. Right, where's my chamois? I might have lost my chamois. Is it there? Yes. Just clean these off and then we don't get it all over. Nicely done. Then we shall just get this card. And what I want to do is I want to just put some flowers down, some butterflies and the balloons. So I need my memento for this. And I'll get the big ones first. Let's tap it up. And then I'm just going to put some, I would normally use my mat, but this is quite thick. I've got quite a few layers on here, so it's stamping really nice. Oopsie, and then I don't stamp it nice, but because the photopolymer, you can line them up, so hopefully that will be lovely. I've done it again. What was up with me today? Oh, it just looks like it's got a shadow, but they're handmade cards, so that's lovely. You can tell it's not factory made. And then I'm just going to get the little one, and it's just going to go in between. This, I like it when they're all different. I think my ink's a little bit juicy. There we go. Like that one. Let's put that out of the way. Right, I don't need the, oh no, I need the black for the ribbons, but we'll do that in a minute. Now to infill these, sometimes I like colouring them in, but I want to use these stamps. Whoops, not that one. These two stamps, so the infill on. And I was having problems before of how do you line these up, but if you just pop it on top, you can see which way it goes. And I think we've got that right. And there. We've got those, that's the way. This one's got a little squiggly bit on the top on there, so that's where you line it up. And I'm going to do these in that lovely Magenta Madness. So, look at that. How nice is that? Just forgive me if it's slightly off because I can't get my head all over, but well, you should be seeing this video sometime in September. And can't see which way my little quiggly bit is. There it is. Yeah, you should be seeing these sometime in September. So I've just been wondering what it's going to be like. I quite like that effect on there. Oh, and I forgot one blend because I did centres on these. This one's the same, and at the bottom it's got one that's close together, so I'm going that's the bottom, and we're going on the Bermuda Bay on these. But again, I don't mind if it's stamped off a bit. That one's perfect. I love Bermuda Bay. I just love everything at the moment. Lovely jubbly. Really like those. Let's get that clean. Right, I'm just going to grab a Mango Melody. Oh, that Mango Melody. And I'm just going to do the centres of these flowers. Like so. Right, I've got my butterfly. I'm just going to now clean that off. I can pinch that off there. Right, I've got a big butterfly. And I'm going to do this in Mango Melody. And I'm just going to have a few butterflies dotted about. Turn the card round. A couple down here. Always put some more on after if we want to. Oops, it's not very clean that way. That's better. And then I've got one that's like a half one, but we're going to do that in a minute when we've done our balloons. So on this one, you've got an outside balloon and an inside balloon. So we're going to have, this is my Calypso Coral. We're going to have a Calypso Coral balloon, and that's going to be about there. And then we've got the infill. So I'm going to stamp off for that. I just need to bring it with me, or so we'll not get it on. There we go, that's lovely. I'll clean these off. And we're going to have a Bermuda Bay one. So it looks like the effect that they're floating across the page. Stamp that one off. And I think we will have a Mango Melody one up here. Stamp it off, Karen. There we go. And then all we need to do then is get our little funny bit, the string I should say, shouldn't I? And we're going to just bob that on so it looks like they've all broken loose and are flying away. And now I can come back in with my little butterfly. And I think I'm going to have a Bermuda Bay one. And like butterflies. Lovely butterflies. Oh. Fabulous. Right, we've done everything there with the inks, so just let me bob these lids back on before I get... Do you know the only thing I didn't do? And I was going to do a Highland Heather and I've not used it, but hey ho, it's not a problem. Not a problem at all. We don't have to use everything we get out, do we? And then I came in with my soft sea foam along the bottom and I just did this, and it just gives the effect of a little bit of grass. Just thought it was a nice little touch. My Winker Stella. Love this Winker Stella. Gives glitter. Just wipe up and make sure it's clean because I've used this. I can't remember what I used it on. I used it on something the other day, but it can pick up the inks, and you see how my balloons get in there. So just going to wipe it before I go on to the Bermuda Bay one. See, it's picking up a little bit of that ink too. Some inks it picks up when you go over it, and other inks it doesn't. I suppose it's how deep the colour is. Fabulous. And then I think we'll just go over our flowers. Just the big ones, I think. You see how it's picking a bit of the colour up and where I've gone out. It's just giving it a little bit of colour. Excuse me for coughing. I've got a really dry throat today. Laughing instead of doing too much talking. There we go. And what I think I should do is stick this down before we put our sentiment on it, and then it's easier. Getting the most out of this glue. I think I've been saying for the last 3 videos, I think it's running out. It will eventually, but I have one on standby just in case. So let's bring our base back in. It's the right way up. Lovely. And then our sentiment. Dimensionals, I did have these out already. And then what I'm trying to do is try and put it over the bit. It shouldn't come off, but just to make sure. I just need to peel these off. Anyway, I hope you're alright. I don't know if you're back at work or still at home. I'm at the moment still working from home. I'm waiting with bated breath to see if the kids go back to school or not. I think they need to. They're missing a bit of normality. So I'm just going to pop that one on there like that. Do you like that? Do you think it's pretty? I like it. I think it's pretty. To finish it off, I've got some gems, not gems, enamel dots, sparkly glitter enamel dots. These aren't currant, but I love them, and so I'm not going to waste them, and they match in with these colours, so I'm going to take a few of these and dot them about. So these are actually a Melon Mambo, Granny Apple Green, Coastal Cabana and Gorgeous Grape. So I think we will use them up. I'll put a couple of those ones on there, and then I'm going to use some of these, just dot it about a bit. It's like a nice odd number. So I've got one more little one on that can go in there, and that's us done. So I'm quite pleased with that card. So there's my original. There's the original that I made, and that has got Wink of Stella on it. I don't know if you can see the Wink of Stella on the balloons and the flowers. I put some on the flowers, the same as this one, and that's the one we've just made today. So quite like it. If I was using currant stuff, I'd probably use we've got some self-adhesive backed what they call sequins. They've already got glue dots on the back of the sequins. They've got some nice colours in them, so I'll probably use them. But like I said, I just want to use these up because I've got them and I really like them. I use these on there as well. So thank you for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed my making my card today, and just doing a bit alternative as opposed to using the main stamps, as to using the little stamps up. So I hope you can join me again next week. Thank you very much, and speak to you soon. Bye.